Guys, welcome back to the Men's Physique recap. Joined once again by Maka.
Hello, how are we?
We are good. We are good. So we basically we wanted to do this every single week, and then we realised that there's not actually any shows in August. So
I think there's only actually, is there four pro shows left in the US? Maybe
yeah,
three now. I
not
think
many, not
maybe
many.
three, maybe four. There's a few left in Europe, but it's not many. I think there's like five or six, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, and I didn't
Uh,
realise that the last qualifier is
it's
actually the
I'm
UK
kicking it.
show.
Yeah, it's like 6 weeks before the Olympia, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So because I think before it was like you could qualify up to 3 weeks out,
Yeah,
and I think that's why they have more. Whereas now I think it's I kind of rate it though because I feel like when you watch the Olympia, you just see like 50, 60, 70 guys all on that stage walking up, trying to get their place. I and the thing is, like, obviously they had the point system, didn't they? And I don't even with them just swapping it to first place only now gets the Olympia qualification. There's still like I think like 50 guys.
yeah. Obviously, I was there last year, and it was actually in person. It was actually hard to see. The finals was fine, obviously, but
Yeah,
the pre-judging, it was actually hard to see who you wanted to see because there was so
yeah.
many people on that stage, and they kind of just yeah. Until they started doing the call-outs, then it got interesting, but it took so long to get there.
But I suppose that's why they do it though, because obviously they've got to make money as well.
Yeah,
This is this is the sad, not the sad reality, but like it's the true reality of like running businesses. Like they are businesses at the end of the day.
mm,
They need to make money, hence why they probably put on as many shows. Like, yeah, it's one of those, and it's same like Two Bros, like they charge the amount they charge. I do think they could charge a lot less, um, and have more money going into, better productions, etc., etc., because you see it abroad. But then, like who are we to tell them how to run their business?
yeah.
And people still pay it.
Yeah, I get it.
Um,
A lot of people say as well, like, oh, there's so many people, it kind of ruins how special it is. But it's still fucking cool. If you ever got an Olympia invite, that is
oh
still
mate, if I got an Olympia O qualification, I finished 16th last, but I would not care.
no, no, me neither.
Like, especially if it's your first time, like you've gone to the pinnacle of bodybuilding.
Yeah,
Like, if in any other sport, that would be like a Champions League final. That would be the Olympics, like winning got like it's almost just like just as good.
yeah, I agree. I agree. I don't think it sort of like makes it any less special.
What
It's
would Here's a question: what would you prefer more? Pro card, like what would you think feels better, a pro card or Olympic qualification?
yeah, definitely the Olympia qualification,
Yeah,
100%.
I agree.
Easily, easily.
But even if I won my pro card and never got to Olympia, I'd still be satisfied.
Yeah, so
Yeah, yeah.
um,
Because I think I spoke about this quite a while ago. It's always like you always got to like take small steps in between. Like
yeah,
unless you're an absolute freak where you've gone to an amateur pro qualifier, there's a pro show the same day, and then you've qualified that way. Because there's been a few people who have done that.
yeah,
But like winning your pro card, then the next step should almost be, okay, can I get top 10? And then can I get a top five? Then can I get, a first place? And then just build up from there. But yeah, I think if I ever won a pro card and didn't qualify for Olympia, I would be happy, but I'd probably be a slightly bit gutted in a
would you
way.
really?
Yeah, I think because if you're a pro, I do think if you're an IFBB pro, as long as you've got, because I feel like this is how I feel about it, right? If you win your pro card, at let's say a poor pro qualifier in terms of standard, and then you go to those shows and you get shown up consistently, then you probably shouldn't have been a pro in the first place. That's kind of how I view it.
Hmm.
However, if you go to a pro show, if you turn pro, you've almost got like if you're not the most muscled individual, what do you think you need? You need shape, you need structure, you need all those type of other things, don't you, to sort of like balance it out.
Yeah.
Because then if you can be outside but still win shows, that's how I see it. So you've almost got to have that balance of abundance of variables in your favor.
Hmm.
So I feel like with me, if I can get to that size level, I've always said I could probably be quite competitive in those ranks.
Yeah, because
But
you're
for me, it's always going to be about condition. I think that's what I need to work on. Ab development is what I need to work on as well. But again, like a lot of these pros now are like mid 30s.
yeah,
Like people go, oh my God, he's 22 and he's a pro. It's like, yeah, that's really cool. That's really good potential. But the guys who are 35 are still winning.
yeah. It's very, very true. Yeah,
So it's like, it's just one of those things. Obviously, if you turn pro at a young age, you got like Jack Eagles in Classic,
yeah.
tremendous amount of potential because he's turned pro so early, and
But
he is a genetic freak.
at the same time, with men's physique, if you do turn pro so early and you've got that size to be competitive, the likelihood is you're going to keep growing and you'll probably
Mhm.
outgrow the division anyway.
Yeah, I remember, Alex Woods.
Yeah,
He was speaking. Obviously, he's an amateur, but he was speaking about like his physique just wants to grow.
yeah,
You
yeah,
like, unfortunately, you can't. If it wants to grow, you can't really stop it
yeah. I agree.
unless you trained a certain way that doesn't gain a lot of tissue, etc. But then, what do we get into this thing for? We get into it because we love training.
It's a really tricky one. I've got a unique situation. You know, my guy Tamas,
Yeah.
got a unique situation with him because he does grow like
Wait,
crazy.
just quickly, what shows is he doing?
We were thinking about competing this year. We've decided not to. We're going to go early.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay. What shows? What Ben Weider show? Yeah.
most likely the Arnold's and then Ben Weider. Yeah.
The Arnold's happening.
If the UK doesn't, it doesn't matter. We're still probably going to do Ohio.
Marathon.
Yeah.
I'll avoid the Ben Weider.
He's a monster, mate. I mean, yeah. So it's a unique thing with him because he's grown
Well,
like that, but he wants to stay in men's physique.
mm,
He trained with, I don't know who he was called, I've totally forgotten. He trained with an IFBB Pro Open guy the other day, and Tamas was literally outlifting him, and his legs looked almost just as big. And the guy was like, "You could go open," because Tamas was on barely anything, and he doesn't want to. He wants to stay in men's physique. So I've got such a unique.
Tamas natural for quite a long time.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, and then he's recently gone assist, hasn't he?
Only gone assisted this year. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Um,
crazy.
so yeah, I've got a bit of a situation where I've got to pull his leg training basically right down. He can't touch his arms now because his arms just grow like
His
mad.
arms are pretty like full.
Let's get him up anyway, just in
Yeah,
case
get him
anyone
up. Anyone who's watching this kid is very fucking good. I've
he,
always obviously known of him because he was. Who was he coached? Was he always been coached by you?
no, he was coached by Isaac last year.
That was it.
Yeah, and Isaac obviously did a really good job. But I've known Tamas for a long, long time. Um, so yeah,
He
it's
looks massive.
so it's such a fine act now of fine tuning his training program to make sure he stays balanced.
If right now, from what I can see, his arms are almost too big.
Yeah, so we've completely pulled arm training.
Yeah, so I think chest, top line chest,
Yeah,
relatively low delt work. He doesn't need any more delt by the looks of it. Because again, like if you bring up his chest, pull his arm volume down, he's gonna look bigger because he's more balanced.
yeah, and we
Like,
ran
do you
it.
know what I mean? Like sometimes just having like a really dominant muscle group isn't a great thing because obviously it's just gonna overpower the rest of that physique.
Yeah,
Whereas if you bring his chest up and just pull his volume down through his arms and stuff, cool, it goes boom. It just ratios it out either way.
yeah,
Um,
100%.
because what's his back's pretty good as well, isn't it?
His back isn't bad. Yeah, he's got a lot of density to his back. But yeah, basically with him, his chest flattens off really quick as soon as you go into a dieting phase.
Right.
So yeah, we're trying to put on. This is the wrong one. We're trying to put a lot of size on his chest. That's the main focus for us, and definitely delts and back is sort of secondary. But even here, like this was him when he was a bit fuller. I gave him some carbs before this day.
Again, though, I'm gonna say this, like if I was to see him in the gym, I didn't know who he was, I'd think he's a pro. He's got the level of size that you need.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
he's very very close. He basically wants to get into the situation. He won't mind me saying it. What his goal is, he wants to get into a situation where he wins the card, and he wants to be very competitive in a pro lineup straight away. So
hmm,
that's why I've just said like we're not going to do this year. Plus, we're going to Olympia in 6 weeks, and it kind of
nice.
would have ruined the season a bit. So we're just
Hmm.
going to go early next year instead, and he'll definitely have the size by then.
Yeah, yeah.
We think he's only actually going to be about 5. If we prepped him now, we think he'd only be about 5 kilo off his pro weight cap.
Ben Weider makes sense as well because sometimes they do have the pro show straight after.
That's exactly it. So
They
he
had
was,
it. They didn't have it this year, but they had it. No, they did have a pro show. It wasn't men's physique, but they've had a pro show every year for the last 2.5 years, I think.
was it not men's physique this year?
It was classic and bikini.
Oh, yes, you're right. Yeah. Well, we wanted to do Arnold's because he wants to. If you get your pro card there and you do all right in the pro show, you make a bit of an impact.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's
It's just about like I think when you turn pro, like especially as a rookie, you see how like that Ricardo Sonat's done it.
yeah,
Obviously, he's in America anyway, but like he turned rookie and he's gone on pro stages straight away within that same year of winning his card, and his name is now known
yeah,
as like almost like an outlier, someone a dark horse, like someone to look out for. Um, so I think if you can go into pro lineup and be competitive, and then just find those judges that like you, look, get that feedback, get your name out there. Try and build like your content as well, because obviously that's going to have an impact. The more people will see it, the more people are going to be talking about your name, etc., etc. And that plays a role. It all plays a
exactly.
role.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what we're trying to base this season around as well.
If he
So
wants to turn IFB pro though, get him to take a PCA pro out his name.
yeah, I know I will. Don't worry. I will. But yeah, so that's the goal with him anyway. So early next year. But mate, he's barely on anything. So it is very, very exciting.
It's crazy.
So yeah, we were gonna, because there's no shows to cover, we're gonna do some reviews of some guys that are competing very soon that we think are looking good. But we also
Yeah.
thought we'd take this chance to review our own physiques. And we're gonna go harsh. We'll give
Yeah, we'll go.
honest feedback. Let's have a look at you first, Maka.
So if you probably have to scroll down a few weeks back. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, there you go.
So it's been a long time since Maka's been on stage. What has it been? 3 years?
2022, mate. Yeah.
2 years.
2022 was when I last competed, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So since
Uh,
then, you can easily see you've gained a lot of muscle mass. A lot of muscle mass.
I
Um,
think me, I'm just one of these guys who like how people say, oh, they look better when they're leaner.
yeah.
Like, well, obviously, of course you do. But with me, like, I genuinely look so much better when I'm leaner.
Yeah.
I don't, I
You
don't know how to describe it, but like my shape, obviously my shape comes through, my waist gets tiny, that those proportions look even bigger. Um, so like that was when was that? That was like maybe 7 or 8 weeks out. I can't remember.
yeah.
Like you can see, like the shape and structure is everything is there. It's just a case of with me, what I found this year on my prep before, obviously I had the seizures. I ran flat very very quickly. Like my food wasn't drastically low. My gear usage wasn't particularly massively high. I think I was under. I think I was like 800 milligrams or so. Like it wasn't massive amounts. But I was still dropping like 3 4 pounds a week, and like you'd see it in my physique. Like if I dropped quite a considerable amount, like my physique would run so like a bit like Tamas. So my chest would go, my delts and arms wouldn't look any like poppier. They would just look flat and stringy. So like with Tim, like Tim made sure that I was just getting refed almost like every 3 to 4 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, I've made a lot of improvements again, but I haven't stepped on stage since 2022.
Yeah.
I
You're,
don't. I actually don't.
almost
I
unproven.
don't know the standard anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to
This
be
is
very
it.
interesting. I mean, like I said, you can tell you have gained a lot of size, and I think you do need to be peeled for your midsection to actually come through.
This
Uh,
is also well, yeah, because when I'm in off season, it's the first place where I gain body fat like straight away, like very very easily. Now it's a combination of I need to be better in off season. That's for sure. That's just a given. I know that, and that is the main thing I'm looking forward to when I prep next year is reversing out like properly. Because I've always struggled with. I was better in 2022, but I was still nowhere near it what I wanted to be
yeah.
in terms of reverse. But because my waist gets so small, it's kind of like a catch-22. I have to really dig to get that detail out. And obviously with ab development training as well, that will obviously help. But also it's just how I'm genetically built. I always have to graft to get my waist as tiny as it can get.
Mm.
Because it is like a real like, I think my waist is like 21, 22 inches.
What?
Like when I'm yeah, it's stupid.
No.
I can fit my hands around my waist. It's like that.
So your legs are probably bigger than your waist.
Yeah, probably.
That's mad, mate. That is
I
rare.
can I can find you photos where I've got both my hands around my waist.
Because I know Josh Ortiz has a very, very small waist. I'm pretty sure he said to me his is around 24. So if
Yeah,
yours,
it's probably so I reckon it's around 22 to 23, maybe.
mate, that's mad.
So I know everything's there from a men's physique perspective, but again, I need to step for me personally, I need to step on stage against those um, the best amateurs around. Basically, I need to know that I can beat guys that are potentially bigger than me. Um, I can stand with the best. I can get feedback. Like I need to go to multiple shows basically next year and find out.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You're a bit unproven at the moment because no disrespect to anyone you did compete with before.
Mm,
But I don't think they were top level amateurs in the game.
nah,
Whereas,
Harvin maybe. Apart from that, no.
yeah. But yeah, if I was feeding back, exactly what you've already said, you just need more density in the abs there, which I'm sure you're already working on. The overall size is developing, and that's just going to show that structure even more.
Yeah,
I already know
I
you.
think if anything, my back's come on the most.
Yeah, we're very similar on that front, actually, which is pretty cool.
Mm.
Yeah, your back is looking good. So,
Because like 2022, it definitely lacked density. There was taper there, but it wasn't. If I'm being honest, there wasn't much that I was happy with from the back. Like my rectors always have been pretty thick, and they've gained a lot. Um,
how many times a week are you hitting your abs?
3 times a moment off season.
Okay, yeah, decent. So hopefully they're developing. Uh,
Yeah, I just basically do a ab weighted crunch machine, like a plate loaded one, a rope crunch from a cable, line leg raises, planks, and then basically just like circuit it. But yeah,
nice. Yeah, I hit mine twice a week in off season.
yeah,
Um,
your abs are pretty good to be fair when you get in.
yeah, they're not bad. I mean, I've still got them in off season here, but they're kind of like Eddie Hall abs, you know. They're kind of just on top of the fat a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm very lucky. I've always got abs. Doesn't matter how heavy I get. Um, so yeah, I hit the heaviest I've ever been. I got up to 105 kilos towards the end of last week.
Jesus.
It's big for me. Very,
It was
very big.
bo-
Huh?
the heaviest I ever was 115, and there was no abs,
Christ.
no abs, and I would never ever go up that high again.
No, this is kind of like well, I'm comfortable with. I'm making good
No,
progressions. I don't want to push it aggressively now.
I was so out of breath. It was bad. I was literally considering buying a sleep apnea machine. My breathing was that bad.
Even I'm getting to the point where I'm going out for walks with the missus. If there's a slight uphill, I get
Oh
out.
no, don't worry. I've seen the stories. I've
Yeah.
seen the.
I'm at that stage now, bro. But I've only got 6 weeks left of my blast. And then I'm going to go for a health phase and just a slow little tidy up. So I'm in a good position for the start of my prep. Uh,
Yeah,
so that's where I'm at. So go on then, critique my physique, mate.
I just think you need a little bit more size. I don't think there's anything there that's out. Like you're pretty well balanced across.
That's good.
Like obviously I can't see your back here, but like I know that your back was always a weakness for you, wasn't it?
It was awful. Yeah, it was awful. This was, when was this? This was 2 weeks ago. So the back's better.
Like mate, that's the best I've seen your back, and I think I said that to you on the podcast
Yeah,
prior. Um, like the overall lat density you've got now, the thickness, the width. Because like a lot of people when they flare their lats, it almost just like you're a bit like me. You have quite like low insertions for your lats. Like your low lats do peak out quite nicely.
yeah,
So I think for you, if you were to develop like that, you see where that sort of lat starts protruding out,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
just like a little bit more there, and maybe a little bit more through your erectors. I think it's solid, mate.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see
Um,
how I look when I'm peeled. The thing is, so you and Tamas, you flatten off really quick in your chest. I
mm,
flatten off so quick in my back when I tie
mm,
it down. So yeah, I'm actually gonna be quite strategic with my prep. I'm actually gonna put in a little bit of Anavar early doors on pool days only. Uh,
mm.
and obviously carb
Yeah.
cycle, always carb cycle anyway, but I'm going to have higher days on my back day along with that to try and
You know, I did that with a prep client, put higher days in on areas where they flattened off quicker. So like Nathaniel, so his chest would get very flat very quickly, but also his back would get very flat very quickly. But
yeah,
they're also two of his best body parts
yeah,
when they're like full. So we put higher days food wise, and he's natural to be fair, but we put higher days on his higher food days on those days, and mate, like the difference in terms of train performance, in terms of fullness, was just ridiculous.
yeah. I do it
It's
with
something I think you need
quite
to consider for sure.
I do it quite a lot with clients, but I've never done it for myself. Weirdly, so I'm
I
definitely going
think
to give
I'll
that
do
a
it
try.
next year for
You're going to do
sure.
it what on chest days?
I think I'll do it on the like push because like if you go, sorry, just go back to me a sec. Like you'll notice like when I was in prep this year, everyone was always asking me like, what do I do for my erectors? Like my back doesn't really get majorly. If you go right up to the top, there you go on that right side. Oh, too far. There you go on that right side. Like it gets a little bit flat, but like in terms of like the density within the erectors and stuff like that, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
But like even like through my top line, it looks good there. But after that point in time, when those photos taken, my top line just started to disappear very very quickly. So
Mm,
that's when Tim started refeeding me a lot more. But like my back didn't really lose much fullness. I think that photo there was actually fasted as well in my back shot.
right. Yeah. So it's
So
crazy in it how unique everyone is. And like I
mm,
could literally like not eat for 3 weeks and my arms would still stay quite big and full.
yeah, yeah, it's
Mad.
mad. And this is what coaching is though. It's like
Yeah.
everyone's capabilities are different, everyone's needs are different, and this is why it's so hard. Like this is what annoys me about when people like consult with you for coaching, and they go, "Oh, that's a bit expensive," and it's like, well, when you get into like a prep or an off season, it becomes so like minute in terms of the differences you have to make to that person's individual physique. And like with one guy I've got at the moment, he's been checking in daily for 8 weeks out because he does like a landscaping job and he runs flat so quick. He's doing like 20K steps a day. I had to pull cardio like 5 weeks out
Right. Yeah.
because he just runs stupidly flat and it almost just ruins his look. So like he hasn't actually got a diet. It's just like, right, put more food in today, put more food in today, put more like, and we're doing it literally like micromanaging him
Yeah.
because his food's just ever changing based on his look and how much he fluctuates and gets flat. So and
Exactly.
obviously, yeah, you need to get flat to get peeled, but he is pretty peeled.
Yeah.
So
Who's that? Who's that?
a guy called Reese, he's going. If you go down a bit, you might probably be able to see. Oh, there he is, literally underneath you. That one there.
Yeah.
No, no, go up, go up, go up, go up.
Oh yeah.
There.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He's peeled. Very very lean.
Pretty grainy as well, but when he runs flat, um, he just loses all his pop. Like his and his condition is probably his best attribute. Like
Yeah.
his lower back is striated, like lines everywhere. Um,
Which
but
shows you.
like he's actually he's doing the race trick rumble, and we're just gonna see how he fares. He's doing novice, and I think he's just gonna do an open class as well. But his
Okay.
main shows like the PCA shows, NFM, I think he wants to do as well.
Cool.
We basically jumped into it because he was getting ready so early. We're like, well, mate, we might as well. Like two bros don't always go for condition, but with it being his strength, and obviously he is going to be outsized and probably at the open class especially. We're like, well, let's get you peeled. Let's keep you running like basically maintenance at this moment in time.
Yeah.
See where we land, and then just take it as like a bit of fun, a bit of data on that show. If we place, perfect. If we don't, then we'll go to PCA. I think, to be honest, if I was to put a bet on it, I think PCA would like his look a lot more. Um,
Yeah, I'll tell you who would really like his look. I don't personally put clients in with them, but
Vitex.
Vitex, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not putting him in there.
No, I
You know
don't, I
why?
don't, I don't put any clients in Vitex, but they would like his look. They like small and they like peeled.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
not small, but
He's only
small like
he's been
compared
on.
to like two bros sort of thing.
Yeah, that's what I said to him. I said like two bros, don't be alarmed mate, if they don't go for condition because they are notorious for going for like shape, bubbliness, etc., etc. So
Yeah.
like I said, we'll just pick you in, see what's happened. We'll see what happens, and then we'll go from there. But it's his first season ever assisted as well. He was natural like from he jumped on assistance November.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, he's looking good. One guy who's doing really well. I wanted to give him a little shout out. Have you been following Gerald?
Yeah, I speak to him quite a lot.
Hey, he's an absolute legend, absolute legend. So he's doing this all natty now, isn't he?
Well, I don't know how much I can disclose.
Oh, this is okay. We'll leave that there then. Leave it up to
He
people's imagination.
basically he's been natural pretty much the entirety of his prep. That's all I'll say. I think.
Okay, okay, okay. Because
Yeah, no, he looks great.
obviously his last season he did was all assisted. That
Yeah,
was the last time I
and
saw.
he's got like an autoimmune disease, and I think you said about it here. Gerald's one of these guys that just stops. He just doesn't train. He like after he finishes the prep, he doesn't train, doesn't eat properly. And he'll just go back into the gym and blow up.
He
Uh,
smashes the KFC, doesn't
yeah, he loves a KFC. I
he?
think he had one. But Gerald's just like for him, like, I've said to him many times, like he's got all the potential in the world, and I'd hate to see him waste it.
Yeah.
Um, which is why I'm always like so on him, like, mate, you could be so good. But he looks great. He looks really good. It's gonna be interesting to see how he does. I think he's doing Austria.
Is he?
Uh,
I'm a massive fan of his physique.
Actually, no,
Um,
he can't be doing Austria
he
actually
hasn't done a
because
regional.
yeah, he hasn't done a regional, so I think he's doing the next pro qualifier for that. But I think he's doing the race trick, isn't he?
So he'll be doing the race trick, and then I imagine he'll be doing the UK show on the 15th.
Yeah, I would put bets on it. Yeah,
Cool, man. I hope he
Gerald's
does
got
well.
he's got a very like men's physique look, isn't he? He's very good.
I obviously competed with him last year, didn't I,
Yeah,
at the Two Bros show, and I thought he was going to take the I thought he was going to take the overall, but he just missed out to Victor,
yeah,
who is actually competing very soon as well. Victor's looking
he
really
looks
good.
good. We could look at him as well, to be fair.
Yeah, they might be having a little rematch again, I imagine. Um,
I
but we,
think for Gerald, like if he gets into, I know he's probably doing an earlier show now, but if he brings that real like tight conditioning to his pro qualifier, I do think he'll be in the mix.
yeah,
Because like you've seen a lot of like I think for him he was always worried about like class A guys getting like looked over.
yeah,
But I think when you're good enough, you're good enough. And like you've seen it this year with Pierce, Huss, like you've seen a few of those shorter guys win shows and win pro cards.
yeah. Gerald's got structure, mate. He's got one of the
And
best.
and that's what I'd say. Gerald's got, I'd say, in my opinion, better structure than potentially both of them. So,
Yeah,
you know, it depends on the right show on the right day.
yeah. Whereas Victor, he probably doesn't have the best structure, but he is put together really well, if that makes sense. Like his muscle insertions are really good. He's been working on his size game.
I think he looks like a robot on stage.
A robot.
He just looks like he was built together in a lab, mate.
His lats are just mental. Like the detail he can get on these when he's 100% in,
His,
it's very,
it's
very,
his midsection. Like I don't, his midsection is one of the best I've seen.
yeah. It's so like blocky, isn't it?
It's
Like
so
in a
like
good,
it's very aesthetic though. Yeah, it's like it's
like,
just like slap.
yeah. These are interesting shots. But you can see, I think that's his last year. Oh, that's 2022 to this year. So you can see he is bigger.
He's made significant improvements.
Yeah. So I mean, I said it last year. I thought he was going to get his pro card last year, to be honest. So I think this year, I think he'll get it
Mm.
at the
You
right
just
show, the right time.
you just don't know, though, do you? I
No.
mean, like, well, I think like when people start talking about you as potentially turning pro, whether it's a year or a couple of years, you're not far away.
Yeah.
But I think like at the right show, he could easily turn pro. Um, because he is good. I think he is good enough to personally.
Yeah.
But again, like if he does shows that are very high standard, this is the thing, you just don't know who turns up, do you? Like whether it's some Portuguese person, some French person, some Lithuanian, but like you just don't know.
No, no idea.
Like
Yeah.
we're so involved in the UK scene, but
Yeah.
God knows what's over the other side.
And that's the thing, I've said to Tamas a couple of times, like it's all well and good having that big goal, and I think he's capable of it, but you just don't know who else is going to be there, and you don't know
Yeah.
what that specific head judge will want either.
No.
So you just don't know.
You saw it in
Um,
Sweden. Michael Kent finished eighth and then won his pro card 2 weeks later.
yeah, exactly that, mate. It's mad, isn't it? How much it can vary. Um,
But
so
again, people
who's
weren't
your,
surprised that he turned pro because he was good. He was good enough to turn pro.
yeah, yeah, he's a big boy. Who's your amateur
Mm.
of the week then?
Type in Richard Fells.
Didn't you say this guy last time?
Yeah, but he had no photos.
Has he got
There you
photos
go.
of it? This one?
Yeah, I think it's him. Is that him? I'm sure it's him. Yeah, this guy.
Okay,
So you
one
go
week ago.
down. So that below, I think, is what he last looked like. If you go, no, go, sorry, go up a step. So you see the competing photo, the one on the left. That was him. Yeah, that was him 3 weeks out last time. And like, if you look at the size of him now,
Yeah, so
he's
that's nice structure there. So yeah, this is
so
him now. Yeah. Okay.
he's got a very good structure. He's very big.
And you know that that waist is going to come right in when he's peeled.
Exactly.
7 weeks. What shows are you doing now?
He's doing next year. I think he's doing the Bermuda.
Oh, great.
I
That's what I
can't
do.
draw him up, mate.
How tall is he?
I think he's tall. I think he's like 6'2", maybe.
Okay, good.
He's above D, I reckon.
Okay, okay,
I think not D. He's not our height. He looks taller than us.
okay. All right. Well,
Uh,
hopefully I'll get to go against him in the overall then.
hang on. If you click on his story, I think there were some recent photos as well. Through Ben Bray, maybe. Yeah, you can sort of see it here, but like he's very big.
Yeah. His front's better than his back.
Yeah. Again,
Back's
I don't know if that's a posing issue, but like his back, he just looks like he's not even trying to pose it. But
yeah,
I'd say yeah, his front is very good compared to his
yeah,
back.
yeah,
But
yeah.
he looks like he gets them inside out as well from his last showing. So yeah, he'll be very good, mate. I reckon he'll be in the mix next year for sure. Yeah, you know, any one of other shows or whatever.
There we go. Richard Fells, you are the amateur of the week. Um,
Mm.
right.
Did you have one?
Have we got, what's that?
Did you have one?
Now we'll do one a week.
Do
Makes it
one
more
a week.
special. Makes it more special. What
Yeah.
shows have we got next weekend?
Um. So
Romania,
this weekend you've got Austria.
Austria.
Two Bros Pro qualify in Austria.
Yeah.
You just had the I can't pronounce the place. It's in the USA. Joe Brightman competed there. Tupelo.
Okay.
You just had the Tupelo Pro, but I don't think any Men's guys was even there.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, it's quite a time of year. Quite a time of year. If there's a show, we'll find it and we'll cover it.